Okay, welcome back to the Table Tennis Australia National Hopes Challenge. Hopes Girls Singles Draw, Round 4 match. Young Connie Psihogios was just in the commentary with me. Now she's out there on court, 3 wins, 0 losses. She's playing against
Eujin
Hong. Thank you, Mr. Franck. Eugeni's on 0 wins, 3 losses, so this will be a tough ask for her. Another Queensland girl. Frank, where's this girl from?
So Eujin is from Wynnum. She started table tennis approximately 3 years ago. Trains 4 to 5 times a week.
4 to 5 times a week?
Yeah.
3 years ago, yeah. So this will be a big ask for her too, Frank?
Yeah, it's going to be very challenging, but the same as for Talisha. Very good experience to play against Connie on TV table at the Hopes Week.
Interesting situation here for you, Frank. Your troops out there and no coaches?
No coaches. We have 2 Queensland coaches for 5 players, and the coaches are on different tables for this round. So Eugene has been briefed before the match that we're expecting professionalism as always, taking the time between the points, taking her towel, taking the time between the sets as well. So that's going to be how her match will be marked more than the result itself. So a pure development match here.
Umpire for this match, the Bendigo legend Gary Warnest. Very handy player, Frank.
Yeah, very good.
So she's from Townsville, I imagine?
No, she's from Wynnum. This one's from Wynnum.
Great serve. I like this little girl.
Yeah. We're very fortunate with little girls. We have 5 that are pretty competitive between 10 and 13 years old. So they don't know it yet, but we're gonna have a very young team at the Queensland Senior Championships with Eugene, who is 10 years old, Hanyul, who is 11 years old, and they will be joined by the veteran Rachel Go, who is 12 years old. So it's going to be a very interesting
What event
team.
will they be playing in?
So senior women.
The Open Women's?
In the Open Women's team, yes. So it's going to be our B team. Great development event.
Is that because of their level? You just want them playing against different types of players, or?
Well, basically they train hard. They know how to compete. They can lose. When they lose, they're sad. They cry, but they're not devastated about it either. They learn from it. So playing at the Queensland senior women event, it's going to be great for them in preparation for nationals. Unfortunately, we don't have a crazy depth in the junior girls event, so they will play against veterans who are at the level of the top player in their age groups, even if the style is a little bit different. But yeah, it's going to be a great experience for them.
I like this girl. I like what you've done there. She's compact. Footwork is quite good. She's quite bouncy. Her technique looks. I like that. That's nice. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, nice.
Beautiful. Very nice work. Good work.
Very good from Connie here.
Well, I'm impressed. So in the early one, our match finished at the point of the Festival of Table Tennis coming up in Queensland, where the team would then move from the state championships through to the national championships in Brisbane. And I guess my first question there is, how many sort of Wynnum players would you expect? Ballpark, because I imagine the selections haven't been done yet. That's nice. Good ball. How many would you expect to be playing in the Queensland team at that point?
For the Queensland senior team, we should have between 4 and 7 players, depending on how they go at Queensland senior championships. So yeah, the goal is to qualify as many as possible. So Hayden Green is in a good position. So is Matilda. We have 2 new recruits, Kelsey Lemestre and Andy Nguyen from Brisbane Table Tennis, who joined the Wynnum stable, as well as the youngsters Brian Liao and Jiten Aluwihar. So it's
what was the last one?
Jiten Aluwihare. So who is
sounded
climbing?
like you said Bubahari.
Sorry. So who is climbing to the ranks at junior level as well. So
he's been doing good things, Jiten.
Yes.
Brian Lau.
Brian Liao as well, yes. But Jiten is probably the player that trains the most in the entire state. Very committed, started training seriously 2 years ago, and since then he's at the hole every day of the week. So
Nice.
what can I ask? You know.
No, absolutely. Okay, so Queensland national championships for the seniors. Queensland's progression in the senior level. How's that going?
Yeah, it's going. It's going very well. We had two players at the top 10 for the men. So Benj Gould and Dominic Wang. So Dominic will play in Queensland this year. They will probably be joined by Bruno Levis for the men's event, and for the women we have our leader Min Young-ji, number 1 in the country, who will probably play with Matilda or a player like Rebecca Stanley if she qualifies.
Rebecca Stanley?
Yeah, Rebecca Stanley,
yep.
who hasn't played much last year. She's involved a lot in coaching in Mackay, doing very well. She has a very good generation of youngsters coming up, and she's very dedicated with them. So big shout out to Rebecca.
Excellent.
But if she wants to pick up her bat and fight it out, it's going to be a pleasure.
Perfect.
To watch that.
So after Queensland Championships, is that pretty much after the National Championship? Sorry, is that the end of the year and it's back to training, or is there more events after that?
No, we are done after it. We don't train anymore. There will be in Brisbane the Oceania Championships and the Oceania qualifications. So I don't think we will have many players there at Queensland level, but it's going to be a great opportunity for the players to come, watch and learn. I'm expecting to see a big turn up in the Brisbane Hall. And then the major event will be nationals in Perth. Juniors nationals in Perth. We had a very good year last year at nationals, and we hope to do even better this year. We managed to get a medal in 6 out of the 8 age groups for the teams, and we're trying to do even better. You know, it's if we can consolidate our place as number 3 state. In the past, we used to lose to Victoria and New South Wales A and B teams. Last year, we managed to get over the B teams for both those states. So the goal is to consolidate this year and for a few more years before we can hopefully take down the A teams.
Very good. And as far as Queensland go, have you got any role with the Queensland Table Tennis Federation, or is it association, or is it just with Wynnum?
No, I'm also head coach for Table Tennis Queensland. So we introduced a high performance coordinator who will be in charge of the relation between the Queensland club and the high performance program, and I'm in charge of the Queensland teams, as head coach and team manager at nationals.
Perfect.
Very good second set from Connie, not giving much to Eujin.
Yeah, maybe in the next set we'll look at having a bit of a chat about this scenario, and maybe just a bit of sort of from your perspective how you would tackle this next set.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so whilst Connie gets Connie without a coach, what sort of things would you be telling the young girl here?
So I think that her attitude is very good. She's trying her hardest. We need to find a solution for the long serve to the middle. At the moment she's trying to come with the backhand push. Maybe we can move around and try to play this ball with forehand topspin. I think that the goal in a set like this is to find solutions for the future, and the long serve to the middle is one that happens quite often in table tennis. So if we could find a solution against Connie, I'm sure that when she plays closer to her level, the solutions will work. Exactly this serve. Yeah, she's had trouble with this one all match, and she's coming a little bit in with that left foot and feeling. You can see she's a little bit uncomfortable with her right. The elbow comes up. So sort of talking technically, let's say in the middle of this set, what would you offer her? Just play with the forehand. Yeah, most likely. Trust the stroke that you know that you've built to tackle this forehand, or would you have to explain it a little bit? No, she knows how to get away from this ball, get around the ball, give herself room. Obviously, it's hard to implement it in a match on a scene like this, but yeah, that would be the solution, I think. Moving around, taking forehand here, trying to brush the ball, finding a good angle. How were the kids this week? Were they nervous from the Queensland camp, or were they just business as usual? Is it a major event for them? Well, what is good news is that it was business as usual. They start to be more and more educated towards training hard, lot of hours, lot of quality, and that's something I've noticed all around the camp. We had players from all 8 states, and they are more and more educated towards training, and this is a very positive sign for the future.
Yeah, I was at the National Development Camp, and I sort of came away saying the same thing, that the ACTs, the Western Australians, everyone is so educated now at training that you can only see good results coming from it in the future.
Yeah, definitely, we're building up.
Standout player Connie Psihogios now goes to 6-2, 2-0. The number 1 seed, yet to drop a game in this National Hopes event. Great ball there. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about watching these kids play, that when the quality comes on the ball in a regular way, that's where you really get to see what the future holds for their game, in a sense, versus when they're playing the weirder older players, let's say, who are playing with a long pimple, or just pushing a ball wide here and pushing a ball wide there. It's harder to see what their game looks like, and this probably for me is one of the more highlighted games, especially watching Eujin Hong. A very I'm going to call it a very traditional senior game today. Setup looks very nice.
It was a good match. That's
nice
the one.
Forehand.
That's
there
the
you
one.
go. We've been waiting for that all match.
Yep.
She finally does it. Encouragement from the coach, Frank the Rogue. Roguez. 3-0 winner Connie Psihogios now going to 4-0. We'll be back soon.